And then I just felt that I have to leave. I didn't feel comfortable. And I just left. That's all. He invited me to some party in the same day in Malibu and some events, but I just didn't feel that I want to go. And it was a good call.
A bizarre story out of Massachusetts is getting weirder and weirder as we learn more about the alleged suspect. Police say he went on a stabbing spree at a McDonald's and a movie theater before he was captured. His strange behavior also included a marriage proposal to a model right after he met her. We're talking with her about this odd situation. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner. 26-year-old Martha's Vineyard resident Jared Ravizza was in a courtroom this week as he's accused of stabbing multiple people at two separate locations over the weekend. According to police, Ravizza went into an AMC movie theater in Braintree, Massachusetts, and stabbed 4 girls. A mom of one of the girls says that the victims were between the ages of 9 and 17 years old and were the only people in the theater at the time when Ravizza came in. She told CBS News, quote, "They had just sat down. They had gotten their concessions. I guess he came up behind them. They were in the second row. He came up behind them. My oldest leaned over to get something. He got her in the back. My other daughter in the chest. My last daughter across her arm, laughing the whole time. Then their friend and ran off. The 2 older girls chased him outside. Then they realized what was going on. Thankfully, all the girls have non-life-threatening injuries." A movie theater employee said the suspect had gone in without buying a ticket and was wearing an oversized trench coat and glasses. After the stabbing, he took off, but surveillance video was able to capture a license plate number. Then just about an hour later, there was a report of a second attack at a McDonald's in Plymouth. Police say Ravizza got into an argument with a male employee at the drive-thru after he urinated outside his SUV. Ravizza reportedly lunged at the man with a long knife, stabbing him in the forearm. The criminal complaint says Ravizza then parked and went inside the McDonald's, stabbing a female employee behind the counter 3 times. And it was the woman's first day on the job. Thankfully, like the other victims at the movie theater, both employees are expected to be okay. Ravizza was eventually caught by law enforcement after his Porsche wrecked during a police chase in Sandwich, Massachusetts. Ravizza appeared in court on Tuesday morning on the charges related to the McDonald's attack. The defense is requesting a competency evaluation for Ravizza. A court doctor interviewed him and said he is experiencing, quote, very serious delusions. Ravizza reportedly believes his family is in the mafia and he is being controlled by outside sources. A not guilty plea was entered on his behalf while he undergoes evaluation at a state hospital. His next court hearing is in a few weeks. Ravizza still has to appear in another courtroom for the movie theater stabbing as well. But that's not all. Ravizza has also reportedly been connected to a murder investigation in Deep River, Connecticut. Police say in the hours before the crime spree on Saturday, Ravizza was in Deep River where a 70-year-old man was found dead. So here's what we know. Troopers responded to a home where the residents reported a man had approached their house and thrown a shovel through the front door window panel and left. They recognized him as someone who lived on a nearby street. They also reported hearing a disturbance at that other house. So the troopers responded to that house and found Bruce Feldman outside at his home with visible injuries. He was pronounced dead at the scene from multiple stab wounds to the torso and head. His death was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner. Ravizza had reportedly been living with the 70-year-old man for a few weeks, according to neighbors, but it's unclear what their relationship was. Some of Ravizza's belongings were also found at the scene. Charges are pending in this Connecticut case. So who is this strange character? His website lists him as the CEO of a renowned full-service digital marketing agency, saying he lives part-time in Beverly Hills and part-time in Martha's Vineyard. His social media pages are full of selfies and photos showing off his physique and personal style. And last year, he managed to get himself involved as part of a photo shoot, according to the woman behind the clothing line. Model Alyona Shikhova was having a photo shoot for her chic brand on April 14th of 2023 at the Beverly Hills Hotel. She says he weaseled his way into the photo shoot, promising that he could help promote her brand with his huge social media following. Shikhova posted a video of her and Ravizza wearing pink sweatshirts on her social media pages. Ravizza reportedly invited her to the hotel pool where he began hitting on her and even proposing that they get married right away and have kids. She spoke about her experience with Ravizza on Instagram after he was arrested.
I'm horrified by news this morning. I didn't think it's a real story when I started got a lot of hate comments on my post, and especially with the post with Jared Ravizza. But when this morning I got a message from New York reporter, I googled the news and I'm in shock.
I just want to take a brief pause out of this story to bring you a Law&Crime legal alert. If you don't know, Google Incognito tracked users' browsing data without their knowledge. But there is a great team stepping up to help. Mass Tort Alliance, one of our legal sponsors, is helping users file for compensation due to Google users' privacy issues surrounding Google Incognito. So if you use Google Incognito anytime since 2016, here's what you're going to do. Go to incognitoclaims.com/sidebar. Fill out the questionnaire, and in less than 10 questions, you can start your claim. Again, that website is incognitoclaims.com/sidebar. We also had the chance to speak with Shikhova about her experience. So, Alyona, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today as we're discussing your pretty terrifying experience. I want to first ask you, how are you doing?
I'm better. I just feel so blessed that I'm alive and every day taking life as a gift, especially in moments like this.
For sure. And can you walk me through what happened? Where and how did you first come across Jared Ravizza?
It was in April 14, 2023. It was in Beverly Hills Hotel. I was making embroidery for hoodies for my brand. And he came, he asked what I'm doing. And he was very interested about that. He said he can model it for me and he can help me to advertise, post in his social media. He said he has a big following and he know a lot of people from fashion, some stores where my stuff gonna be nice to sell, like in Hamptons and around New York, Newport. And I was excited about that. I thought it's a nice opportunity for me as a person who came in America not long time ago and I just started to develop business. I would love to do it. And we made video, pictures, he tagged me, and he invited me to sit near pool. We sit near pool and just talk. And then I just felt I have to leave. I didn't feel comfortable. And I just left. That's all. He invited me to some party in the same day in Malibu and some events, but I just didn't feel that I want to go. And it was a good call.
And talk to me a little bit about why you did feel uncomfortable kind of during your exchange with him.
Just not my energy and just something didn't resonate with me with the energy.
Something
Very
felt
pushed.
a little off.
I felt like pretty aggressive and not really kind. And I felt, okay, I'm going home.
Yeah. And as you have just mentioned, you have a clothing brand. Was this an instance where you had just mentioned he was trying to model for the line? Was he able to kind of get into any photos? Did he try to push his way into kind of what you were doing for work? Talk to me a little bit more about that part.
Yes, that's why I was interested. We did pictures in hoodies, what I just made embroidery and videos, and we posted pictures and reel. And he tagged me, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And talk to me about what led up to the proposal. And I even saw one report where was it like kind of out of the blue? And he even suggested that you two have children on your first meetup with him?
No, not like that. It was more like a joke. When he invited me to sit near pool, he said how many connections he have and how it will be nice for my brand to develop it together. And he started telling me about his family, his last vacation with a dad, and show me pictures and all houses what he has. And he said he's gonna be a good husband for me and I'm gonna be a good wife for him, something like that, but more like a joke.
And was he at all friendly during your conversation with him?
Pretty friendly, but I felt some aggressive energy inside, like maybe because he was too pushy or maybe just because his personality. I just met him the first time, so I don't know how he normally act. That's why I felt like, okay, thank you for taking me. I'm going. I just read our conversation a year ago, and he texted me his room, And thanks God I didn't go to his room. So I just saw him just in the public places.
And I know you have a pretty big social media following yourself. Have you ever seen him on Instagram or any other social platforms before your encounter with him in person?
No, to be honest, I never saw him. But after I post a reel with him, it get a lot of views and a lot of comments, especially after what happened. I got a lot of hate and just crazy messages all over my post and my DM. That people just wishing me to die and that I'm supporting this guy, but I'm not supporting this guy. It just happened, and that's all. And weird messages from some random guys about my taste for guys and good luck with that. Like, great, thank you. What do you know about my taste? That's crazy, people crazy. And when I post a video with him, some my clients and followers saw, and they said, "Oh, I think I know this guy." Like a lot of people told me that they know him. I didn't. I didn't know him before.
Yeah. So was he kind of like a controversial figure prior to the alleged incidents and the alleged crimes that he's accused of committing this year? Was he kind of controversial last year as well too, or was it after the stabbings that you got these DMs and these flood of hate?
After. After.
And
Before it was just views and nothing crazy, just regular.
And that time at the hotel, was that the last time you ever spoke to him, or did you guys exchange maybe numbers and started texting or anything like that? Or was that the last and final time you ever saw and spoke to him?
We exchanged numbers, we text, but for very little bit, he sent me some pictures and I sent him some pictures of him, what he can post. So we just talk about that and not really stay in touch.
And it was all about the clothing brand, I assume, not just to get you on a date or anything like that.
He invited me somewhere, but I didn't go.
And when you first heard about the crimes he's alleged to have committed, what went through your mind after hearing just some of the gruesome nature of what he's accused of doing?
Yes, first I started getting a lot of messages in Instagram and comments under that reel, and I didn't think it's real. I thought like it's a lot of crazy people. They always send crazy messages. It's absolutely okay. Maybe some people got mad with him. Maybe something happened. Maybe some conflict. I didn't know it's real. I didn't believe it's real. And then when reporters start connecting me and I Google news and I read the news, I was completely in shock. I couldn't believe that it really can happen like that close, and just absolutely horrified me, and I was in shock, and I felt so lucky that I'm still alive.
I'm glad you are as well too. Did you ever get a sense that you could have been one of his victims?
To be honest, I didn't. Maybe like from my brain, I felt like sense God, but I felt it was pretty long time ago. We met in April 2023. I felt like he probably has some issues and maybe some mental health problems and maybe problems with drugs, and they just maybe make him absolutely crazy. It happened. It's so sad that all that stuff legal in California, and a lot of people just getting crazy with drugs. And I thought maybe he just got crazy with that stuff, but in the moment when we met and in the moment when I saw his last posts in Instagram, I just checked his Instagram and he looked absolutely different. In the moment when we met, he didn't wear that feminine clothes, no manicure, no makeup, and he just changed a lot. But I felt something very, very weird, and I felt like a lot of aggressions from inside. So I felt it's just better to stay away from this guy. as a single girl in new country, I'm trying to protect myself and I'm just trying to stay away from all weird people. But for California, it's pretty normal to be that weird. It's a weird place, and everybody here, like artistic people and musicians, and they all like pretty weird. So it's hard to say person normal, just artistic and creative, or just crazy and absolutely not healthy.
What prompted you to speak out about your meetup with him or your introduction to him by that, one chance that it happened that you did meet him in person?
I always happy to share my feelings, and if people are interested to know something, I'm happy to share as well. I'm happy to share about my work, and I'm new in this country, and it's really dangerous for everybody, and I feel for me now too. And I just want to protect myself, and I just want to find out the way to protect myself. I just don't want to people like him be free and just live his life and continue doing what he's doing. I think it's necessary to put him in a special place for recovering and healing, and better for the rest of his life, because nobody knows if it's possible to heal or not. Probably not.
And do you believe that he belongs in jail, or do you believe that he should stay in a mental health hospital? What are your thoughts on that?
Just whatever people think better. I just want him stay away from people and just keep all humans safe. That's all.
Alyona, before we sign you off, is there anything else you would like to add about that pretty terrifying encounter? Which wasn't terrifying at first, but now knowing all that you know, anything else you would like to add about the the meetup with him?
I just want to do something good for all victims. I feel bad about the situation, and I'm really sorry about all that, what happened. And I would like to do little charity from my brand. If I can do something, I would love to. And I just want to sell hoodies and donate 70% from all sales to all victims. If I can do it, I will be happy to do it.
Alyona, I want to thank you so much for speaking with me this afternoon. We really appreciate your time and glad to know that you're doing okay. And we want to thank you again so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we definitely appreciate her sharing her thoughts with us. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us on Sidebar, and please subscribe to us anywhere you listen to your podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. I'm Elizabeth Millner, and this has been Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime.